All right, today I want to talk about Karl Marx's world. This will be part three in Intro to Marxism. I think it'll be helpful just to have some images to show the context of Karl Marx and just a few historical references as we walk through. Once again, we'll just be very brief and quick here. The world of Karl Marx can be sort of, we can show it through talking about briefly Hegelianism, and then Marx the revolutionary, and then Marx the bourgeois, or Marx the intellectual, if you will. First, Hegelianism. Hegel is one of the foremost intellectuals prior to Marx in Germany. He is just a master philosopher, systematizer, and to be honest, very few people actually understand his overall system. He is arguing for universal forces. He's arguing that the history of the world can be summed up in very, honestly, teleological ways. The system is vast, and it's honestly pretty. He's a dense writer, so it's hard to get into him. But he's also arguing that society is the ultimate human good. He's argued by some that he's an idealist, and so for Marx comes along and he says that Marx says he flips Hegel on his head. So what was very deep metaphysical roots for Hegel and ideology, and the head as spirit and freedom, is all flipped on its head, and saying that really for Marx, he had it exactly backwards, and we need to think more of the basics of materialism and this world before we get to philosophy and all those other things. So Hegelianism is the context that Marx walks into, and he says he's exactly wrong and backwards, and so he flips them upside down. Now, Marx the Revolutionary is taking place amongst English Chartist revolution and just in general British industrialism. So the image itself is just a good reminder. This is what's going on. We have vast industry growth, industrial growth during this time, and the workers are dealing with terrible conditions. Next, you also have a lot of revolutions happening around 1848 and really throughout Europe. And it's in this context that Marx is actually arguing that we need a different system for doing society. And just once again, looking at these images, even if you're not a Marxist, you can begin to see some of the problems of his society. Now, another crucial understanding for understanding Marx and his context is to understand him as a scholar, and particularly the problem of class. So you begin to ask the question: what is the problem of class for Marx? Is it that we have these natural class distinctions, or should we seek to adjust these distinctions that we tend to naturally have? Well, the problem of maybe rich versus poor, maybe we can supplement that or change that, but what's natural in there becomes a little bit different story. It might become a kind of a question of, well, do we make everybody the height of the middle guy here? Well, these are big problems of class. The other important aspect of Marx, the scholar, is that he's bourgeois. So it becomes the question: if he thinks the bourgeois are all bad, how is it that he is not bad? And that's an important question to wrestle with throughout all of Marxist ideology: is the man himself and what role he is taking as a bourgeois, but as a particular leader of the communist class, to lead change and revolution throughout this time and in the history of the world. Here's a picture of other communist leaders throughout the world: Gramsci, Che Guevara, Lenin, etc. I just wanted to briefly introduce the context of Karl Marx to you all.